Jack Reacher sequel not likely unless the film becomes a blockbuster in Asia. For those hoping Paramount will move forward on a sequel to Jack Reacher, the chances are slim, barring a box office miracle in Asia. Insiders claim that the Tom Cruise action thriller has to do exceptional business in key Asian territories in order to warrant a follow-up. Jack Reacher has earned $72.6 million domestically, with a worldwide tally of $153 million. Sources claim that Paramount Pictures will not consider making Jack Reacher 2 unless the worldwide total is over $250 million. Director Christopher McQuarrie's adaptation of Lee Child's novel opens in Korea this week, with its Japanese debut slated for February 1 and a Chinese release tentatively set for February 16. The film is projected to earn around $85 million domestically, which means it would need $165 million internationally, twice its current total. Jack Reacher will face competition from The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, which debuts in China February 22, and two Chinese movies opening February 14 that coincide with the Chinese New Year. When Jack Reacher hit theaters in 2012, it seemed to have all the ingredients for a successful film franchise. Based on the best-selling novel series by Lee Child, the film featured an enigmatic, larger-than-life protagonist in the form of Jack Reacher, a stoic, highly skilled ex-military policeman with a penchant for getting involved in dangerous situations and resolving them through a combination of intellect and brute force. With Tom Cruise, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, in the lead role and a solid supporting cast, the film had all the makings of a hit. However, the movie was met with mixed reactions. While Cruise's star power drew a certain level of attention, many fans of the book series were quick to point out a major issue. Cruise's physical stature did not match that of Reacher as described in the books. In the novels, Reacher is an imposing figure, standing 6'5" and weighing 250 pounds, with hands the size of dinner plates. Cruise, by comparison, stands at 5'7", and though his action hero credentials were well established by this point, many felt he simply didn't embody the towering presence that defined Reacher in the books. Despite these concerns, the film performed reasonably well at the box office, grossing $218 million worldwide against a production budget of $60 million. This level of success, combined with Cruise's involvement, was enough to justify a sequel, Jack Reacher: Never Go Back, which was released in 2016. Unfortunately, the sequel didn't fare quite as well as the original, both critically and financially. While it still managed to gross $162 million globally, it failed to generate the same level of buzz, and it became increasingly clear that the future of the franchise was in jeopardy. The challenge of the franchise, the problem with the Jack Reacher films, particularly the sequel, wasn't just Cruise's physicality or the fan backlash over the casting. The core issue lay in the fact that the films never quite managed to capture the spirit of the books. The novels are known for their tightly woven plots, compelling mysteries, and Reacher's methodical, almost Sherlockian approach to solving problems. While Cruise's version of Reacher certainly had moments of wit and intelligence, the films often leaned too heavily on action set pieces and lacked the slow burn tension that defined the novels. Another issue was the global appeal or lack thereof. While Jack Reacher performed reasonably well in North America and a few other markets, it struggled to gain traction in some key international territories. In an age where major blockbusters are increasingly reliant on the international box office for a significant portion of their revenue, this was a critical shortcoming. The Asian markets, particularly China, have become essential for Hollywood studios looking to recoup their investments, and Jack Reacher was never able to crack those markets in a meaningful way. This lack of international appeal has put the possibility of a third Jack Reacher film in serious doubt. In an industry where sequels and franchises are greenlit based on the potential for global box office success, the lukewarm reception of Never Go Back makes it unlikely that a third film will move forward, unless, of course, the franchise can find a way to perform well in Asia. The importance of Asia's box office in recent years. The Asian box office, particularly in China, has become a lifeline for Hollywood blockbusters. As the second largest film market in the world, China can make or break a movie's financial success. Films that underperform in the US or Europe can still become profitable if they manage to capture the attention of Chinese audiences. For instance, Pacific Rim and Warcraft were both saved from financial failure by strong performances in China, allowing them to justify sequels despite lackluster box office numbers elsewhere. The Asian market has a particular affinity for action films, especially those that feature strong, stoic heroes, which would seemingly make Jack Reacher a perfect fit. However, the previous two films failed to generate significant interest in Asia, and without that crucial international support, the prospect of a third Jack Reacher film seems remote. There are several reasons why the Jack Reacher franchise may have struggled in Asian markets. One factor could be the lack of a culturally relevant lead actor. While Tom Cruise is a global star, his appeal in Asia is not as strong as that of certain other actors. In recent years, actors like Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel have built large fan bases in Asia due to their involvement in franchises like Fast and Furious and Jumanji. These actors embody a certain larger-than-life, physically imposing presence that may have been more in line with the Asian audience's expectations of Reacher. Additionally, the more cerebral aspects of the Jack Reacher films may not have translated well to Asian audiences, who often prefer straightforward, fast-paced action films. While Reacher is certainly capable of intense action, his character is defined more by his intelligence and tactical thinking than by his ability to throw punches, which may not have resonated as strongly in markets where more visceral action is favored. What would it take for a sequel to succeed in Asia? If the Jack Reacher franchise is to have any hope of continuing, it would need to undergo significant changes to appeal to Asian audiences. One obvious solution would be to recast the lead role with an actor who has a stronger presence in the region. While Tom Cruise remains a bankable star in many markets, his association with Jack Reacher may not be enough to carry a third film to box office success. In recent years, there has been a trend in Hollywood toward casting actors who have significant followings in Asia. For instance, actors like Donnie Yen and Tony Jaa have been brought into franchises like Star Wars and Fast and Furious to appeal to Asian markets. While it may be difficult to envision someone other than Cruise in the role of Reacher, it's possible that a fresh face with more international appeal could help reinvigorate the franchise. Another possibility would be to increase the action quotient of the films. While the Jack Reacher novels are known for their carefully plotted mysteries, the films could lean more heavily into the action genre in an effort to capture the attention of Asian audiences. This would likely require a shift in tone from the more methodical approach of the first two films, but it could be necessary if the goal is to secure a larger international audience. The streaming alternative, one potential avenue for the Jack Reacher franchise that has already been explored, is the shift from film to streaming. In 2022, Amazon Prime released a TV series adaptation of Jack Reacher starring Alan Ritchson in the lead role. The series, which hewed much closer to the source material in terms of tone and casting, Ritchson is closer to the Reacher described in the books, was met with positive reviews and strong viewership numbers, leading to the renewal of the show for a second season. The success of the Reacher series on streaming platforms suggests that there is still an appetite for the character, even if the film franchise struggles to gain traction. The episodic format allows for a more faithful adaptation of the books, with more time to develop the intricate plots and character dynamics that make the novels so compelling. Additionally, streaming services are not as reliant on the global box office, making them a more viable platform for niche franchises that may not perform well internationally.